do you actually love your job?
I love my job, I do, but not every day. Some days maybe a bit more, some days less.
Yeah, same. There are parts of my job I don't like.
Your boss is listening to this, huh?
Yeah. I love my job, but there are really parts of my job that I don't like. I think that's the reality. Hi, and welcome to our brand new segment. We're calling it The Work Feed. From full-blown rants online to your confessions that you are sharing with one another, we unpack the real questions and stories that you are sharing with each other. Well, today we're looking at something that came from Reddit. People who actually like their jobs and what do you work as? Okay, Gerald, start with you, right? Do you actually love your job?
I love my job, I do, but not every day. Some days maybe a bit more, some days less.
Okay. Yeah, for me,
You?
yeah, same. There are parts of my job I don't like.
Your boss is listening to this, huh?
Yeah. I love my job, but there are really parts of my job that I don't like. I think that's the reality. But I'm asking you because I was actually reading on Reddit, right? This person started a thread, and the title was "People who actually like their jobs. What do you work as?" It sort of like got me thinking as well, like, what does it take to like really love your job?
Very deep question, eh?
Yeah, can you love your job like fully? You know, or what if your job is so, like, I guess maybe it's for some people, they might go, what if your job is not very exciting?
Yeah.
Right.
Or what if you don't want to love your job? Some people just don't want to have that work-life separation, right?
Yeah, true. So this person that I read, Acceptable Cheek. Okay, I'm just going to say that Acceptable Cheek is a she, so
Okay.
it's easier for me to read. So Acceptable Cheek says, I took up F&B training at IMH, the Institute of Mental Health. Started as a dishwasher, then became a cook, and then joined a bakery. The experience at the bakery allowed me to be competent enough to work at a hotel. And the favorite part of her job is making the best version of desserts that goes out to buffets and functions. In a cliche sense, she says, I make them with love and send them out proudly like my babies.
Wow, I clap.
Yeah, let's clap.
I clap for you.
Let's clap for her.
It's like this is the ultimate expression of loving your job.
Yeah.
You know, to the point of you see how you have grown in your career, and then after that, even the things that you make, you see so much love in them.
Yeah, and
Wow.
it's like, it's so wholesome, right? Because it is not just about like, I guess, you know, loving the job, but taking pride in every single dessert that she's making and sending them out like her own baby.
Yeah, I think when you say taking pride in what we do and every step, I think that's something that a lot of people sometimes it doesn't jive with them.
Yeah.
They don't take pride. They just say, just do the work, just submit, do the bare minimum.
Yeah.
But I think when you really love your work, every part of your work matters.
Yeah.
You do it with a lot of professionalism. You really do it with a lot of heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, like people who, when you see people who are like that, what do you think about them? Like, do you think they are like, they're too into their jobs already? I'm not like that. What are your
I
thoughts?
do think when I first read Acceptable Cheek thing, of course I was like, I want you to tell me where you are, cooking at, because I want to go and like taste your pastry. But I remember when I saw this, I was thinking, for real? Like, do you really like love your job that much? And in fact, actually, I think Acceptable Cheek probably read my thoughts, because later on in the post, Acceptable Cheek said, there's actually in this job, there's a lot of standing, walking, carrying, and placing all the desserts. And she says it's not for everyone. And actually, it wasn't what she aspired to be either. But she just happened to end up with this environment where she can thrive in.
Oh, wow.
So I think there's something here, right? So it got me thinking, actually, Acceptable Cheek made the most out of her situation.
Yeah. I think she did. It sounds like she didn't plan.
Yes.
She didn't plan for this. She didn't know what the next step was, whether it was going to be good, but somehow it worked out.
Yeah.
Right?
Because we always, I'm sure you get a lot of these things. So people always ask you, how do I plan for my career? How do I plan for my career? But sometimes it's not so much about how you plan for your career, but where you are, how do you make the best out of it?
Yeah. Exactly.
Is that what you tell people as well?
Yeah, I think a big part of this is making the best out of where we are. Because we sometimes a good place that we are in, it may not last for very long as well.
Yeah.
So it's about our attitudes, the way we grow in our work, and learning to see more meaning in what we do, putting our heart into the task itself. These are things that would allow us. When people will see these things in us as well, we will get rewarded, we will get recognized for these things, and also it just makes us feel like we want to work more every day. You know, we feel like this piece of work that I'm doing is important, and I think that's where you realize that actually I do love my work lah. Yeah, I think most people when I speak to them, do you love your work? It's like
There's a pause.
There's a pause. Right.
Then after they think about it, then they look around, see whether their boss is listening.
Or the HR is listening.
HR,
yeah. But they will take a pause and then they might wonder a little bit, like, you know, it's not all that bad.
Okay.
You know, and it's also like there are moments where you enjoy your work, and it could sometimes be related to the environment, not just the task, but like your colleagues, your boss. You actually enjoy being people. I heard so many stories of people who say, I don't really like what I do, but I love the people that I work with.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because they make me feel like family. They make me feel cared for and supported.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether I can get that elsewhere.
Okay, so obviously work culture is very important. The environment is very important. So going back to, you know, the idea about, you know, can you actually love a job that maybe doesn't look like it's very exciting, or, you know, in maybe some people's minds a bit like menial labor kind of stuff. So I talked about that because, so in the same thread, right, there's this person who's called Win Feng. Okay, again, I'm just going to think that Win Feng is a guy. So Win Feng is a taxi driver. He writes here, he imagines that he's playing it like a game, like a role player game. So he is in the driver's seat and he's pretending like he's, you know, like making, like getting to checkpoints, getting to, like, you know, clearing his different, I don't know, what do you do in games? Things like that.
Is it he tries to, you know, whenever he picks up a passenger and drops them off, he's trying to hit the timing or something, clear the stage. Hit a certain tier.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not sure whether I want to sit in Win Feng's taxi, but it sounds like at least in his mind, he's got a very imaginative mind. So it doesn't see it as just very mundane, you know, just driving is another 8-hour shift or whatever. He's actually finding purpose and meaning and creating that for himself.
I just think that people who can see some additional meaning in their work on top of the routines that they do, right? I think they bring something very special into their workplace. So for example, like if someone views driving and picking up customers as a way of engaging customers.
Oh yeah, you shared with me that example.
Yes.
Tell
I saw this video the other day, right, of this taxi driver, and he has this amazing story where, you know, he says he wants to make his passengers happy. And then he says that, you know, he puts sweets in his back seat. He has different sweets for different customers, elderly, children, different type of sweets. And then he even puts a notepad, like a little notepad with a pen there.
Yeah.
And then he explains because he has seen so many of his passengers as they're talking on the phone, sometimes they need to write down something urgently. So he's noticed that need. He put a notepad and a pen there.
That's very sweet.
Amazing, right?
Yeah.
And then I thought like, wow, this guy is effort and he takes so much pride in doing this, you know.
To make someone else's day.
Yeah, and of course, you know, the response from his passengers, you know, gives him so much joy. He says that kids, you know, when they sit in the back seat, the parents let him draw on the notepad.
Thank you, uncle.
And he got this message, he said, best taxi ride ever, you know. And this makes his day. And these are things that money cannot buy.
Yeah.
Money cannot buy. I mean, he will earn the fare, but, you know, he walks home with the satisfaction knowing that he made someone's day better. Oh, and this other thing, right? He said that sometimes when he talks with customers, he realizes some of them are retrenched, and he himself was retrenched before. So he feels like, okay, I can make that day. I won't charge them for the ride.
No way.
Wow, this guy should be Singaporean of the year. So it's this type of people who I feel like sometimes when we see people like that, we might feel like, you know, who's like you, you know, it's not possible, you're unrealistic, right? But I think
you can make the best out of every situation that you're in. I mean, even if it's not like, you know, the passengers or whatever. Sometimes in our office here, sometimes it's the pantry lady, right?
Yes.
It's just to say hello, auntie, you know, and they have a little chat. They do chat back, and then they feel so good about it, and then you feel like maybe you've made her day.
Yes, I remember in Queens, I think Alexandra Village, there used to be this hawker store selling desserts, and the uncle dance along as he's making his desserts.
Dance?
Yeah, there's this techno music that's playing, and then he's dancing like a robot there, and he's making it like a robot.
Okay.
And then you wonder, like, why do you have to do that?
Yeah.
You know, just serving desserts, right? But he's just having fun. What's wrong with making ourselves happy while we are working? You know, bringing a bit more of ourselves into our work.
Yeah. So I think we started with the idea of whether you can really love your job, and, you know, but I think you can. I think it doesn't matter what job it is, look for the silver lining. I know we're not saying it just as like a philosophical thing. I think it's totally true. So if this is something that you can relate, please drop us a comment. We'll love to hear from you. We're at cnapodcasts@mediacorp.com.sg. We're also on Spotify, Me Listen, YouTube, and Apple Podcast.
I'm Gerald.
And I'm Tiffany. Go love your job.